right, folks, it's Friday. Let's get that bread. Liam Murphy back. If you play best ball and you're not on beatbestball.com, you're a fool. $100 a year gets you everything you need. We are doing a big dog today on Underdog Fantasy. $500 or $500, $200K to first. Let me resize here. Get you guys a better size. We're gonna take Jahmyr Gibbs. I'll just auto that down as we figure it out. Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, a pick that's defensible as the 102 almost in best ball this year, has undeniable weekly ceiling, and quite possibly we don't get as much David Montgomery this year, who I think the vibes are a little off for. Appreciate you folks being here. So we did get Gibbs. Herzig's in here, friend of the channel. Some other names I noticed. Lynx, he does a lot of stuff. Elgru, I think I noticed that name. Hope you folks are doing good. I mean, it is Friday on a random day, June 20th, and we're getting big dogs to fill. So, Elgru, he won last year. That's why I noticed that name. Honestly, if Chase Brown just scores that damn touchdown week 17, I probably get second place in Best Ball Mania last year to Elgru. Crazy. CMC going ahead of Gibbs. Well, he didn't in this draft, but yeah, I would say that's too much. How we doing? Doing great, man. Just taught the kids some chess. We're off, and we're drafting this for you people. Probably keep this stream short. Probably keep it just focused on the big dog and call it Friday. Big dog probably better ROI than 20 BBMs. Yeah, I mean, anyone out there who is trying to decide how to allocate their bankroll, getting some high stakes drafts in is a defensible mentality, right? Where it's like, what's more likely to win you $200,000? One big dog or 20 BBMs? Of course, it's one big dog, right? There's only going to be 2,160 entrants. You only need to go 1 out of 6 in the 2 semifinal weeks, and there's only 10 people in the finals. Now, your risk of ruin, aka the chance you return $0, is much higher in a big dog, and that would hurt, right? For some. So it's you got to ask yourself what you want here. Let's get our ring light on here. I did a big dog the other day. It was totally insane. And BBM 1. Herzig won BBM 1. I won 2. Elgru won 5. Yeah, Brock Bowers. Why not? 2 week 8 buys. Whatever. I already have a Bowers team on my main event team, which is tight end premium. I think it's pretty fun to get here. I've not been doing as many Bowers teams in something like Best Ball Mania. So, if you are a volume drafter, one way to smooth out your exposures is to simply take a share of a player in a higher buy-in contest, right? It doesn't have to be a $500 big dog. It can be a different contest, but there's different ways to do it. So no wide receivers for me through 2 rounds is what it is. Chase Brown's going to redeem himself this year. Yeah, I mean, I've been drafting a lot of Chase Brown. It's just, if the man just scored that damn touchdown week 17, then T. Higgins doesn't go off, then Joe Burrow doesn't go off, and I would have gotten second place in Best Ball Mania. Would have won $1 million instead of $50K. Bowers has started falling in drafts, and I don't get why. Well, I mean, why I'm a little lukewarm on the elite tight ends is just because of how deep tight end is, right? It's like when you could get Dalton Kincaid, David Njoku, and co. very, very late in drafts, there's a bit of an opportunity cost on Bowers. Like, Bowers needs to be smashing to pay off. Man, are we going to do another week 8 buy? Why not, man? We're not afraid over here. Is it ideal to have a bunch of buys? Probably not. But they're all different positions. Thank you to my lovely girlfriend, Annie, bringing me some grilled cheese. Shout out, Annie. Shout her out in the chat, guys. Come on now. Hooking me up with some lunch here for this big dog. Ooh, 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 ooh. Let me hear those big dogs. Shout out, lovely girlfriend. Thanks, guys. She'll appreciate it. Big dogs got to eat. Shout out, Annie. Shout out, Annie. Grilled cheese is good. Already maxed BBM 6. I'm rolling the dice with early draft variants. Zach, a totable, defensible way to play it. It's kind of like a sourdough. And then he said, I hope it's sourdough. I've had good success with streaming high stakes drafts. You can go back, look at my recorded videos. 99% of content on this channel are live streams. But if you go at my recorded videos, I recorded the time I drafted the DraftKings 2120, and we won that tournament. So let's do it again. Let's shove it right in their face. How's it going, Tyreek? Getting that week 17 correlation with Bucky. I like to see it. I've gotten Tyreek in a couple high stakes drafts. You just got to mix them in, right? So I'm lactose intolerant, but cheese is my vice. So God, no. Please, no. Starting to thunder here. Some classic Friday storm. Any week 17 correlation for us? Not really yet. But Marvin, definitely a guy who I want to share on a high stakes team. He's a better fit for half point PPR too. I think we're going to be doing Tet here. Different buy, which is key. So yeah, let's do Tet. I got a lot of Hunter. I like Smith too. He's kind of a brand guy for me. Jameson I like too, but again, buy problems there. So got to get a wide receiver on the team. Tet McMillan it is. Remember the draft when others wanted Mostert and you stood strong with Mason? Was this a big board when I wanted Jordan Mason? I mean, yeah, I was very early on Jordan Mason this year. If you were watching the Big Dog streams. What's the Hunter fall? Been seeing him go all the way in the 60s. Well, basically guessing the best ball market is not very sharp in general to news. And so this time of year, there's like zero actual news at all, right? And so people are trying to cling to something that could be actionable. And basically, there was a quote from the GM that like he could play some defense. And so that sends people scared, right? And it's also, there's this like psychological effect when players are falling in drafts, someone else thinks that there must be something wrong, right? They're like, oh, there must be something I don't know. And so you get that snowball effect too. In general, over time, you're going to come out ahead if you just buy fear dips. Ridley is going too late. Thoughts? I don't really know, man. I mean, sure, if Cam Ward is really, really good, I can see it. Yeah, this is a big dip. No, Jesus. Big dip on Hampton. Let's get it. I'm not afraid of Najee. I love to bet against Najee. The Ridley thing, sure. If Cam Ward is like Jaden Daniels, okay. But it's not like there's not anything to like about all these other names too. So he's just part of a crowd for me personally. Could be. I don't know. I mean, I prefer James Cook to Hampton, but I still prefer Hampton to the other running backs. Is there downside possibilities with Hampton? Of course there is. Is there also insane upside? Yes. Hampton is literally going later in drafts than rookie year Jonathan Taylor did back when the first round was filled with all running backs. Like those were the years where like Kenyon Drake and Nick Chubb and Josh Jacobs were like first round picks. And Jonathan Taylor was going in the fourth round there. So basically like way more running backs went ahead back then. So Hampton is going pretty late. You know what's funny is if I didn't unenroll myself from that AI slop, you know, I think it's called like Takes or something or Gambly or whatever. I could see them making a thing like this. Like Liam says, Omar Hampton's got a big hog. But yeah, no, I unenrolled myself from that because personally, I think I have good takes and I don't want someone to just be able to like catch up on my takes in 5 seconds, especially like a high stakes drafter, and see what I'm saying. Like if you're not grinding my streams, you're not subscribed to my site. See you later, nerd. See you later. All right, we housed that grilled cheese. Feels pretty good to get Hampton, and then like every other running back goes. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I mean, I'm kind of confused by your question, because he's going cheaper in drafts. He used to be a 4th round pick. Wow, yeah, pretty nice price here on Juwan Jennings. Another guy who I definitely want to get some. Looks like there was a little blurb that he was bothered by a calf 8 days ago. Again, we don't care about things like this in June, folks. We do not. The market might. It's a week 14 buy, so it's nice to get just a different buy than 8. And gives me a really solid third wide receiver. I have a ton of Ayuk, so I want every piece of the 49ers passing game. I don't want to just go down with the ship on Ayuk if Jennings or Pearsall end up being the guys you need. Dude, to the effing house on that grilled cheese. What players are you super underweight on and comfortable with? Cortland Sutton. If Cortland Sutton beats me, so be it. This is a $500 draft, sir. I don't like Cortland Sutton's Week 17 matchup. They added a lot of pieces in the passing game. It's not my cup of tea. He's kind of old. So, and again, you know, will I maybe take Cortland Sutton in a higher stakes draft to smooth it out some? Maybe. Like the year I won the 555, I had a bunch of players who I wasn't that into as a way to hedge. Because if you're going to be wrong, you want to be really wrong and profit from it. I'm not fine with 0% Devonta Smith. I've done a couple super flex streams, but not a big thing. We're doing a $500 draft, folks. We're not going to be doing too many questions like this. Zach, I see your super chat. Appreciate you. Let me make my pick first, and we'll get there. I think here's the time to just do Pearsall. Get the double 49ers thing going. We do have a lot of week 14 buys at wide receiver. Not ideal. So be it. So be it, bye week bros. We might even get the triple 49ers. I have very little Derrick Henry. I'm getting some Derrick Henry exposure in the Eliminator, which if he's an utter smash every week, he's better there, right? Zach, thanks for the super chat, man. He said, hey, Liam, curious about the Burrow snipers. Are they wasting their money taking him unstacked, even though they get a falling ADP value? Or is it as simple as good quarterback scores a lot of points? I mean, that would be their argument, Zach, right? Their argument would be, I'm trying to win my pod. I'm trying to get to the playoffs. That's how you profit something. You don't profit if you don't get to the playoffs. This guy's going down in price. And I would argue it's short-sighted, right? If you're playing a large field tournament, you need to think, how do I win the money at the end? How do I win the money in week 17? That's when the money is won. And so you got to ask yourself, if Joe Burrow is the guy you need that week, why is that? Is it because he rushed in 5 touchdowns? No. Is it because Andre Yosivas scored 4 touchdowns? Maybe, but probably not. It's most likely because Jamar Chase smashed, T. Higgins smashed. So I don't think it's terrible to do Joe Burrow with like Chase Brown and Gesicki and Yosivas on occasion, but you're not stopping anything. There's going to be a 10,000 Joe Burrow teams getting him at the 6-7 turn. Now, if he goes past the 6-7 turn, there does become a time where it's like, yeah, just scoop it up. But yeah, I would not want to be doing that a lot with a pocket passer. If the quarterback was Jalen Hurts, that changes the calculus because it's a lot easier to see Hurts just scoring 3 rushing touchdowns. I don't care if I have a pass catcher. You can backstack him, you know? Got the water bottle. You got it. And yeah, he's not a value. He is going down in price. So we're gonna go Purdy. Yeah, if the Kittle drafter takes him, so be it. Ayuk went, by the way. I think I'm just gonna take Emeka Egbuka here. Brian Robinson, totally defensible. Jalen Warren, totally defensible. I like both those players, but I want another guy with some juice that doesn't have a week 14 bye. And I have some Chris Godwin and Mike Evans in high stakes drafts. So like I want pieces of all the Tampa passing game. So pretty nice start. 2 running backs, Gibbs and Hampton. Marvin, Tet, Jennings, Pearsall, Egbuka, and Brock Bowers. My last big dog, there was like 5 bad drafters in my opinion. Nothing really sticks out too much here to me. Let me dial in and try to pay attention to the board because I am streaming. So when I stream, I don't pay as close attention to the board. Is what it is, right? Like Herzig, he probably has this stream on. He's paying attention to his draft, listening to me. Maybe trying to look at my rankings, see who could get back to him. Right? He's grinding more of an edge than when I'm streaming. But everyone seems to have like relatively acceptable teams from an overview here. I'm not seeing anything egregious. Only thing I would point out is Seth Green here has Baker with no pass catcher. That seems bad. I wouldn't be doing that. He does have him with Achane. So, okay. But I don't like that for him. I wouldn't do that. Kittle drafter goes Keon, by the way. Yeah, so I mean, I like a lot of players here, but here's where I think I go Purdy. I don't overthink it. We've already seen one drafter who's willing to go naked quarterback. There is the CMC drafter who could always go Purdy as well. You got 2 pass catchers. Who cares if a team's going to have Purdy around later, right? He fits my team. I want to be in on the 49ers passing game. Like, I think they could be the key to drafts this year, right? Thank you for your feedback. Hey, complaints like feedback like this, guys, make sure I want you to mail this to me. Just write a letter, put it in the mail, address it to Cheslium. No address is needed. Just take that energy, write the letter down, send it in the mail. How do you feel about the Giants backfield split? I like Tywin Tracy. I don't like Cam Scatterbo that much. Just a guess. Yeah, kind of, not really, but what's your opinion on Travis Etienne as he's rising? I know he's one of your brand guys. Is Travis Etienne one of my brand guys? That's news to me. I've not drafted Travis Etienne yet. Previously, I've drafted him a lot last year, but I do want to get. Actually, I have drafted him somewhat. Yeah, I think he's totally fine to mix in. I don't care too much about the cheaper price on him. Hurts, man. Hurts. If it makes you feel better, there was one high stakes drafter in the 555 who took him every single time in the second round. So we got our quarterback, we got 2 running backs, we got 5 wide receivers, and we got a tight end. Pretty solid start. Kyler, this guy goes all in on the Bengals and Cincinnati game. There you go. Gallows wouldn't even won on drafters without me. Shout out, Gallows. Here, I think I'm just going to scoop Jonnu. Week 17 correlation with Ibuka. I know I already have Bowers, but like I personally love the upside of Jonnu, and I don't think it's correct that he's fallen 2 rounds, so I'm just going to scoop it. Like I want shares of Jonnu in high stakes. He is a guy I believe in personally. Again, dude, please put these thoughts in the mail. They're important to me. Get them in the mail. Yeah, I think here's what I'll say though. Like I've been drafting all the Dolphins pieces. I do believe though that there could be catastrophic downside to the Dolphins where Tyreek gets traded at the trade deadline. Jonnu gets traded at the trade deadline. Like, these things could happen. In rooms where quarterbacks are going way ahead of ADP, how do you adjust? Would you ever take someone like Tua 16 spots ahead of ADP? Yes, I would, JJ, right? Like, we don't want to be going into the year with our QB1 Aaron Rodgers and our QB2 Jackson Dart. So if you got to adjust, you got to adjust. Period. Tutin's been falling, so I kind of low-key think I could get him on the wrap. So let's do Kirk, who I think they're like Christian Kirk, OG brand guy. I think there's a chance I can get Tutin on the wrap. And again, I think it's a pretty big tier break after Kirk at wide receiver. Is it possible Jalen Noel beats him out? Yeah. Is it also possible Kirk is just like around 1,000 yards, around 6 touchdowns, and people are like, oh, yeah, that was funny that we just let that guy go in the 11th round? Absolutely. Your advice of going into every draft like you're going to be right has been so helpful. Allows me to accept different outcomes, even though they might not be the ones I'm betting on the most. I mean, yeah, folks, like you got to be drafting like you are right to a certain degree, right? So when I have Bowers and I have Jonnu, I'm not taking a third tight end just in case one of them has a bad playoff week. I've made my bets for this team, right? So it doesn't matter how likely you think the bet is. If you've made the bet, you've made the bet. You can't be too safe in these tournaments. You're trying to win a tournament. You're trying to turn a little bit of money into a lot of money, right? That's the game we're playing. I did see Watson running routes. I would say, though, that Christian Watson, that is, he didn't look anything close to full speed. It looked very gingerly to me. It's kind of shocking he's running already. I don't know. I still can't draft him, Zach, but, you know. If I got Colston Loveland to fall another, 20 picks, maybe I would take a third tight end, Daniel. But, probably not. I probably just need to give that value to someone else. It just doesn't make sense for my squad. Okay, now this is interesting. Stroud has fallen a lot. I have a lot of quarterbacks that fit my team. I think I'm going to take Tootin because no one should really take Stroud either. The Mixon drafters here, the Nico's drafters here. So if someone wants to do naked Stroud, go for it. But I have a lot of quarterbacks that fit me. And again, if Tootin is a 0 for this team, I don't even think it matters, right? At pick 140, this doesn't even matter. And again, he has the upside to absolutely punish you. So I'm going to buy his dip. I think the third quarterback people would more say that it's not about week 17, it's about getting there. And then they would also say that it's when you take a quarterback, you're not taking a skill player, and most skill players suck. So you're securing some points, but it is a little bit of a safety mindset for me personally. Well, I have a lot of Bigsby, and why Tootin over Bigsby? Bigsby's probably pretty limited, right? I think he's a good rusher of the football. I think he could be the goal line back. I don't think he could catch 30 balls. When you take Tootin, the story you should tell yourself is essentially you're drafting Devon Achane. You're drafting a guy who could just get a swing pass and go run 80 yards to the house. Right? So why Tootin over Bigsby? Bigger single week upside. So Herzig goes naked Stroud is what it is. Gino goes. Maybe Herzig liked my team. Didn't want me to get that. I'm gonna go Bryce Young, of course. That's the thing about me is you couldn't lock out me from getting a stacked quarterback because I had Tua, I had Bryce, I had Stroud, and I had Gino. I would have preferred Stroud because I personally still believe in Stroud, and also it was past his ADP. I guess Herzig's going to try to take Jalen Noel, and he strikes me as someone that wants to get his third quarterback in every single team. It's a high stakes draft. Check in the box. For me, I have 2 week 14 buys, so I don't really want a third quarterback for this team, but I might work one in. Purdy and Young, Gibbs, Hampton, Tootin, Marvin, Tet, Jennings, Pearsall, Igbuka, Christian Kirk, Bowers, and Jonnu. I like the framework of the team. The bye weeks aren't perfect. If I had Purdy and Stroud, I would almost certainly be stopping at 2. Why did the Geno drafter? Why did Geno go 2? Oh, Myers. Yeah, Stroud would have made sense for the week 17 stack for me too. I mean, I could have taken Stroud. I just think it's near 0%. I would have gotten Tootin on the wrap. And I want to be betting on Bryce Young some. Like he's got some big upside this year potentially. He finished the year strong. So I need more running backs. I need more wide receivers. I'm done at tight end. And a third quarterback wouldn't hurt. I have so many week 14 buys, but it's kind of tempting to take like a Leggett. I could also do Jalen Noel and just lock up Houston slot and stick it to Justin for taking naked Stroud if I wanted to. If I cared. Cam Ward, pretty backstackable too. Not many running backs I'm like screaming to do here. Since I have all these week, I might just do Cam Ward. This is a really funny thing. Get my third quarterback. If Bryce Young had a different buy, I'd probably skip it, but I don't know. My team seems strong enough everywhere else, right? If Gibbs is the guy, he's hitting the lineup every week. Hampton should be there a lot. Tootin, he's an unknown. Marvin, Tet, Jennings / Pearsall should be getting some scores from these four for sure. 2 upside picks, I think. Gonna have some flex appeal from this crew here. Need to get some running backs and wide receivers on the team. That's definitely true. The smaller the field, the more you can justify a naked quarterback for sure. Yeah, it was nice when I could get J.K. Dobbins around price 190. Those days are gone, though. I know, this guy's just spewing whatever he wants. Let's see, did any team get locked out at quarterback? Because that's kind of nice when you do screw a team. Yeah, like Lynx here. I mean, he's not totally screwed, but he only has Caleb. So, I mean, Darnold, Jones, Rodgers, they exist, but like he's got to take one of those guys, which are just worse bets than Ward and Stafford. So we got one team at least that softly feels in trouble. Yeah. Old man Thielen, why not? What's another week 14 buy among friends? You know, warehouse, you just have bad energy. So we're timing you out. It's not as comfy to me as Dobbins was, but I do draft Keenan sometimes. I don't really need the chaperone structure of a Thielen too much. And the week 14 buys is, you know, whatever. But the thing about Cam Ward is just like, I don't like taking Tyler Lockett and co. We timed out. We time out. We don't ban many people. Why did Herzig take McMillan over Noel? Probably just because he has McMillan higher ranked. He also has a Miami-Tampa thing going on. I think you can definitely argue that it would have been time to break the tie towards Noel, but must really not like Noel. And I don't really like Noel that much either. Damn, I was reading that. Yeah, we only unban people. Yeah, so Lynx had to go Darnold and Rodgers. One he at least got stacked. Is nice though. Push this guy. I like McMillan much more than Noel. Okay. Yeah, so just a time to take a running back. I don't really want Miles Sanders on every single team, but it's a pretty good team for it. I already have Sanders in several high-stakes teams. This team could really use a guy who's just a starting running back sitting there in the 16th. Only real running back I missed on with Adam Thielen is Braylon Allen, I would say. Am I taking more Bowers or Achans towards the 1-2 turn? Definitely Achan. Do I ever sprinkle in Iamore or Dyke? Iamore quite rarely. Like, I prefer these really fringe bets on drafters where it's like if they're a smash, you get paid more off for it. On this team, I don't even need another wide receiver for this team. Like, I could definitely do 2 running backs and just have Cam Ward naked and just not care that he's unstacked. He does have some rushing appeal. With all the week 14 buys, and I get the like Kirk is not the best pairing with week 14 buys because if he does lose his job, which I don't think he will, he loses it by then. Just ask yourself, how do your keeper people act more? Do they crave running backs more, or do they crave wide receivers or tight ends more? They probably crave running backs more, so you should probably keep Achane. I don't have a lot of DJ Giddens, and so I'm going to get him here in a high-stakes draft. But see, like, the reason why I don't have a lot of Giddens is Khalil Herbert could be a thing. But as someone who's not been taking a lot of rookie running backs, I do want exposure to some of them. Miles Sanders could be cut, man. Definitely could be cut. Could also be the starting running back. So Purdy, Young, Cam Ward, Gibbs, Hampton, Tootin, Sanders, Giddens, Marvin, Tet, Jennings, Pearsall, Igbuka, Kirk, Thielen, Bowers, Smith. The wide receiver rooms and running back rooms, like, you don't feel perfectly on paper about either of them for this team, I think. Like, wide receiver, it could be bad. If Marvin is not good enough, if Tet's not good enough, if Jennings and Pearsall aren't good enough, if Igbuka's not, but it's like, also it could be pretty good. Tight end feels really strong. Quarterback, I got 3 of them, so that feels strong. Running back, I got 2 guys who should be starters and should be scoring a lot. And then some upside swings, right? They all have downside. I kind of think the 6th running back is a better play here than an 8th wide receiver. Both can hit the flex. Because, like, Thielen, like, he should just be in the mix. Tyler Lockett's not even available, so he's like a guy I want to entertain. So I think I'll just take a running back dart here. Why not? I think Sean Tucker makes sense. I think Keaton Mitchell makes sense. Jerome Ford makes sense. I think we're going to do Keaton. We don't take a lot of Derrick Henry, so we want clean outs to Henry failing and profiting from that. So the team is Purdy, Bryce, Cam Ward, Gibbs, Hampton, Tootin, Sanders, Giddens, Keaton. Like, Keaton could be the same bet as Tootin just in the last round. Marvin, Tet, Jennings, Pearsall, Ibuka, Kirk, Thielen, Bowers, Jonnu. Not my favorite team on paper, but you see the vision. 5 wide receivers through 8 rounds, 2 running backs through 8 rounds, a tight end. We ended up 3 quarterback. We ended up only 7 wide receivers, which seems fine. And yeah, pretty fun team. I know I had so much DK Metcalf early. We don't have too much week 17 correlation. The Panthers play the Seahawks. We didn't get anything there. The Bucks or the Niners play the Bears. We didn't get anything there. Cam Ward plays the Saints. We get anything there. We got no Viking. We got no Texan. Again, I could have done Stroud. Which that was a mix to me, I think, but I know Tutin's ADP is kind of fake because he does fall. We have no Colt. We have no Commander. We do have a Jag, so we got the Tutin DJ Giddens mini. We have no Packer. We have no Bengal. We do have just Bryce Young stacked up. We do have Jennings and Pearsall stacked up. So that I count those as week 17 stacks personally. We do have Egbuka with Jonnu mini correlation. We do have Kirk with Hampton mini correlation. And so I was wrong when I said no Texan. We do have the Bryce double. And then we have no Giant for Bowers. So not a ton of week 17 correlation. I would say that you can think of week 17 correlation 2 ways for this. You could say it's a smaller final, so you can get away with more week 17 correlation. Or you could say it's a small final. Who cares about week 17 correlation? Just try to get there. Julian, dude, you might have to sit out, man. You might have to sit out. This was a big dog. I don't have a lot of get-ins, but I do want some. Right? And if get-ins is a 0, if Tutin is a 0, if just like one of these guys is a 0, even 2, but like let's say Tutin and get-ins are zeros, utter zeros. But Gibbs is a smash, Hampton's a smash, Sanders is a smash, and Keaton's a smash. The zeros don't matter, right? That's why if you swing for upside a lot, you can fail on some picks and still profit. Herzig did May, Tua, Naked Stroud, 5 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Grew, luck boxed best ball mania last year. Just kidding, but he did. Daniels and Goff, 6 running backs with Ginty and Ken Walker. He did the double Dallas, so we shorted Grew stocks. We did Sanders. Did 8 wide receivers. Not my cup of tea, all these guys. Laporta and Ertz. And I did this. Here's the board again, if you want to look at it. All right, folks, we're just going to keep this video nice and clean. It's Friday, so we do a single draft. We did the big dog. We got to fill. We streamed it for you. Appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, join the Discord. The link is below. beatbestball.com. I got some stuff coming down the pipe there. And have a great day. Peace out.